Welcome back to the channel. Just before my brothers and I got going on our latest watch party, I got them talking about some of the things that happened in the last week or so. We got talking about a goofy dream I had about the Crow, which you might find interesting, as well as Prime Video just came out with Vox Machina. We talk a little bit about that show and where it came from, and the latest episode of Boba Fett. I say that in air quotes because we all know it was the Mandalorian. Let's give it all a listen. All right, another thing I wanted to mention too, food for thought. And this actually, like, occasionally I'll have a dream and I'll wake up and it'll be awesome, or I'll have some kind of revelation. It doesn't happen that much, but I had a dream where I figured out this massive discovery that the movie The Crow with Brandon Lee is a remake of The Wraith with Charlie Sheen.
It is kind of, yeah.
I mean, it's a similar plot. Yeah,
it's the same movie, back from the dead. I mean, The Crow did not get a cool car, and it didn't get to bang Sherilyn Fenn, but that's really the only big difference.
That's kind of a huge difference, though. That makes Wraith infinitely superior.
You think the car was the put him over?
Oh yeah,
or put him over the top.
Banging the hot chicks.
Yeah. Then after I woke up and I thought about it, like within about 30 seconds in my head, I said, "Oh shit, they're both High Plains Drifter." They're both fucking High Plains Drifter. Seriously, they're the same movie. I don't want to say like beat for beat or scene for scene. I'd have to watch them all again. But yeah, I mean, High Plains Drifter, right? He gets killed, he gets all whipped to death, and he comes back and he kills everybody, and he's like this ghostly cowboy guy, right?
I love a good ghost cowboy.
I was going to ask you about Critical Role, if you know what Critical Role is.
Yeah, okay. You've been watching Vox Machina?
Yes.
Yeah, Vox Machina. I love that shit.
I didn't know if I was going to like it, but then again, within the first 3 minutes when they just totally destroyed that party, I thought it was freaking awesome. That was cool.
Is that the thing where we teach that all white people are inherently evil?
It is not, actually. I don't think it has anything to do with that. No, it's I watched the entire, pretty much the entire Critical Role first season. They had playing the live D&D.
Mike is, of course, talking about Critical Role theory.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, you didn't get that? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, but it's if you've never seen it, it's just like basically the most popular like online group of Dungeons and Dragons players. They just film themselves playing, but it's a lot of fun. They're a fun group, and I kind of got into watching them and watched.
And one of the notable things about them is they are mostly voice actors.
Oh yeah, they're all voice actors.
As they're playing their characters, they're actually like playing their characters better than you've ever seen it done. Vox Machina, they just have one season, or do I need to dig up the second season? Did that just come out, or?
There are 3 seasons.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why didn't they show up on my friggin' Prime? When I went looking for them, I only found season 1.
Look on YouTube. I don't know.
Maybe I will.
I got them on YouTube. It's season 1, season 2, season 3. I mean.
Okay, cool. I mean, it just came out on Prime. At least season 1 just came out on Prime. That's where I found it.
I did not know that. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I've always watched them through YouTube, and it's just one of those things that I just tend to have on in the background when I'm doing other shit, and sometimes you get really sucked into what they're doing because they're a fun group, and
Yeah, it's like that old school D&D show, except with like a bunch of cussing, titties, and death and violence. My favorite character, I think, is the gnomish bard. Right?
Yeah, he's hilarious. Yeah, when he showed up with the
rainbow-colored codpiece. See, up until that show, I had this thought in my head that Jaskier from The Witcher was the first actual bard that I saw that I, number one, liked, understood, and thought I could see in like a D&D campaign, because bards never really clicked in my head. Like some asshole with a fucking loot when everybody's like fighting and throwing down. But Jaskier is fucking awesome, right? Actually, Tom Maryland in Wheel of Time, he was pretty freaking awesome, right? He's a bard.
I played an awesome bard at one point, and I had the best bard name ever. Presley Powerheart would charge out into the field and like blast out with his rock music. It was pretty epic.
Wow.
But he wasn't a horny gnome, so...
He was not. Presley, but he did have groupies that followed him around. There were always groupies trying to, throw panties at him and stuff. And it was a pretty badass bard.
Was it like an electric lute or something?
was not. It was a regular loot, but then he would use his illusionary powers to, augment it and, make it really like rock and blast.
Oh.
Do you ever read Order of the Stick?
Yes, all the time.
Okay.
What it was about
Love
every
that.
6 months or so, I tune in. But I know what you're talking about. He's not even really a bard anymore. Now he's like a swordsman.
He's
right?
the dashing swordsman, yeah. But I was going to say, that's another example of a very good bard character. He's, kind of comic reliefy, but he actually does real bard stuff sometimes.
He is bardic. Bardic. Boba Fett. Y'all been watching?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are y'all up to date?
Yes, I am.
Mike, you a few weeks out?
Most recent release.
Did you see Luke Skywalker?
No, I saw the Mando one.
Okay.
Yeah. See, here's my interesting journey is I was like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm not going to watch it. This show's boring the hell out of me. So I didn't watch it. But then a lot of the YouTube channels that I subscribed to were popping up all this shit about Mando. So I watched it, and it was the best episode.
Yeah. And the best episode didn't have him.
I know. The best episode didn't have him, and it was all about Mando, and that's why it was awesome. The latest one, I like that. They did a lot better with their whole deep fake Luke Skywalker, where it wasn't horribly cringy.
Yeah, I've got a couple of problems with just the way things went. I mean, yeah, it was, last episode, like without discussing the current one, because I think the current one was even a better episode. But when they introduced Mando back into the series there, even though I was excited to have him back, objectively, that episode kind of sucks. I mean, they clearly had about a half hour of content and then they just let Amy Sedaris drone on for 20 minutes to fill out the rest of it. It got way too wacky.
There was a zany aspect to it, but I think they're making Boba Fett like less gritty as anyway.
Yeah, and Amy Sedaris, unless she's playing Jerry Blank, is just not fun.
That's very true. Oh, I missed that show.
That was the best.
I think it was exactly in line with everything they did in Mando. In that Mandalorian got just as kind of goofy and maybe only had like a half hour of badassness, then had the silly shit with Sedaris or whoever.
Yeah.
So
they brought out the most tedious aspect and just gave it full reign. I mean, my problem is with Amy Sedaris is she's basically playing her Strangers with Candy character, but for a Disney
in space.
Well, it's for a Disney audience, so they've nerfed her. Like, she can't be just going off about like donkey sex shows and stuff, which is hilarious when she's doing that. But instead, it's the same demeanor, but just in a much more kid-friendly form. And I was uncomfortable.
She did say she nailed a Jawa, right?
Yeah, and
she also did say that. Yes,
she admitted to being a furry also.
Yeah,
because apparently Jawas are furry. All right, new topic.
New topic. Problem 2 with the episode. As badass as his new starfighter is, you're a bounty hunter, dude. Bring out your bounties.
Oh, I wanted that myself. Yeah.
You know how he gets away with it? Because Reno Reigns Renegades set the fucking tone. If he can capture bounties on the regular with a fucking Harley Davidson, then Mando should be fine with that.
Then he can do it with a Star Cruiser. Why doesn't he just put him up in the bubble? He doesn't want a mech droid, so he can just put him in that little bubble up there.
How much room is back there? I mean, is he going to fit one guy?
Who cares? It's a prisoner.
The Starfighter, it's nostalgia bait. They wanted people to be like, oh, I remember that from Anakin flying it. Blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. Yeah, it was a really dumb choice. But then again, I don't know. My thought when it was happening was, why is he going to so much trouble to build this? He obviously wants to get away from public transportation because public transportation sucks balls. But why? They made such a thing out of it. It was really stupid.
Well, they had 20 minutes of non-plot to fill and, let Amy Sedaris be wacky. So he was doing that in the background.
That's true. And that'll do it for today's video, guys. Thanks for going on this journey with us. Let me know how you liked it in the comments section. And also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel as we bring you more thoughtful and intriguing content in the future.